Getting back to normal after time spent in war zones and disaster areas is easier said than done for a lot of our men and women in uniform. Troops Need You is an organization that does that and a lot more for both veterans and active duty military here at home and abroad. And joining me to talk about the organization now, founder and president, Lieutenant Colonel Eric Egland. Colonel, thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, you're welcome, Doug. Thank you for having me.
I know there's an issue that's really top of mind for you and for your organization recently, and it involves the humanitarian relief efforts for people who live near Fukushima in Japan after that nuclear disaster there. Tell us what's ailing so many United States sailors.
Yeah, a lot of sailors and Marines got exposed to high levels of radiation. When they responded, they went directly into a nuclear radiation plume to like you say, conduct humanitarian operations to help the affected people of Japan. And the symptoms have continued. It's been over 3 years since the exposure. And so we got, Troops Need You decided that we wanted to help because some of them are kind of stuck in a bureaucratic struggle. The government doesn't want to acknowledge the radiation exposure, and all they want is to get some tests and to get some medical professionals to look at their radiation-related symptoms.
What kind of symptoms are you seeing?
Yeah, so just they're kind of hard to pin down, but I mean, you've seen people with severe internal problems. I mean, organs failing, and a lot of I'm forgetting the medical terms, but a lot of different just fatigue-related. People are just different people after they got exposed. People who haven't been able to have children, people who have lost just a lot of their physical capability. One person lost the muscular ability on the left side of his body, and he was a fitness champion before that happened.
Has the military expressed any interest in doing a real scientific study on this, so that you have a controlled group that you can compare it to a standard portion of the population?
So the military did a study that basically concluded, move on, there's nothing to see here. Yes, there was some nuclear radiation exposure, but not enough for people to have any serious medical effects. Well, Troops Need You listens to troops, not bureaucracies, and the troops have conditions. And so what we've been able to do is raise the money from people across America who care about these sailors and Marines, and just pay for medical tests, tests and some consultations with medical professionals that help them understand what's going on in their body as a result of their radiation exposure. So we've been able to make a difference in a lot of people's lives.
This is an issue that is obviously top of mind, but you guys do so much more, and I want to get into a little bit of what are the other kinds of things that you do. Wounded warriors who come back from war zones, for example, have their hands filled with surgeries and recovery and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis falls by the wayside, like paying bills, I would imagine.
Right, it sure does. A great example of where we were able to help is a Marine who was at the Army base in Washington at Walter Reed. He had a medical handicap sticker right on his car, but it expired, and because he was a Marine, they didn't get him an updated one in time, and he parked for dinner a couple hours outside of D.C., and the police towed his car because he had an expired registration. He had to take a taxi back up to make a surgery the next morning. The surgery got complicated. He needed 3 more surgeries, and by the time he could finally address his car, he owed the tow company $3,000, and in the state of Virginia, that's enough for them to sell your car. So Troops Need You stepped in, got connected with the tow company, explained the situation. They reduced the fee down to $1,000. We were able to pay that directly to the tow company, and the troop got his car back. I mean, imagine what his life would have been like if in the middle of these surgeries they lose their only family car.
Right.
That's the area where we're able to offer emergency financial assistance. Eric, and really make a difference, help those troops move forward.
We're out of time. Real quickly, how can our viewers get involved with this organization? Real quick.
Sure, they can learn more at our website. It's troopsneedyou.com, or follow us on social media, Troops Need You. And yeah, there's lots of ways people can donate. They can volunteer. They can just tell their friends and neighbors, their church groups, ways they can help make a difference with these healing soldiers. I really appreciate the great work you've done, and we're so glad that we can share it with our viewers on this 4th of July weekend. Lieutenant Colonel Eric Egland, President and founder of Troops Need You. Thanks so much. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too.